do that? Just like once a year kind of thing?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was my
I guess
first,
you
I've
got
never done a war fight
sit
where
next
it
to
was
you.
like, just,
Or you got that side.
and so it was all sort of almost emotional, like no one was actually shooting, they weren't firing assets, but for firing, and like, so it was all sort of in a game, essentially, a simulation. But all the planning and stuff was real.
Okay, guys, so I'll time the 40 minutes, okay? And when you're ready, I'll start it. You got the recording devices set up and rolling?
Yeah, so it's written down now.
Okay, all right. So you heard the instructions. The only thing is I'm not really in the room. Don't consider me a participant. I'm an observer totally. And I'll tell you when 40 minutes is up, okay? Any other questions? And by the way, I'll have the sheets that you fill out to do the team evaluation, which is 5 minutes afterward, and then we'll go back. Okay, you guys ready?
Yep.
Go.
Okay, so my thought was, if we all just want to roll through our 12, put them up right here on the board and see if there's consensus right off the bat.
Good idea.
How convenient that they left us a singular napkin. That should have been that job.
Okay, so
Over the,
aluminum ladder. The snorkel, and flippers, and the mask. Three plastic buckets. Keys to the car. 7 woolen blankets. Nylon garden hose. Map of the area. Jeans and sweatshirt. Okay, fire extinguisher. Grass rake, mop, and yard broom. Cell phone. And leather boots.
okay.
And there were 3 snorkels and flippers. I don't know if that matters.
Alrighty.
Conveniently left.
Boy, this will make it easy.
Marker with a lot of juice too. Luckily.
Nice, we just used the camera that was in here and be done with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The cameras, or there's markers back there.
There might be.
So Lauren, let's go ahead and start with.
With mine,
But before we do that, we want to go over the scenario.
Oh, that's fine.
Just so I understand it, we're in the woods of Australia, and there's a fire coming our way, and we can just leave. So I guess my part was like, I was building my strategy in my fight or flight. Am I going to fight the fire, or am I going to just leave? And so I didn't know, like, did I miss anything? Like, we could just drive, right? Just drive from there.
Exactly. That's the
There's-
initial
yeah, there's a
direction.
lot of-
That's quickest route out, and then if I have to survive, well, that takes it.
Okay. Like, so, like, if you were driving out and then you couldn't,
Stop.
Exactly,
There
got
was
to
a
the
path.
end of the road.
there was somewhere you couldn't go and you had to go on foot. Okay.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, sounds like the fire was coming your direction, but they only saw it enough. It wasn't like it was surrounding you, and that's how it.
So did you build yours plan off of, are you fighting? Are you guys- are you
I
guys
built
stay
my
there?
plan on, like, get the proper clothes on and then see if there's an exit strategy. Okay, that's how I built mine, but.
Okay, fair enough.
But I know, I actually did both, I had the exact same thought you did, which was fight or flight, and that was kind of like, depends on which way you wanna do it.
Okay, go ahead.
I guess I'll throw out, I did flight first, so I'll do that one. I had keys as number 1. I had a map as number 2. A cell phone number 3. Boots number 4. Jeans 5. Somewhere in the middle
Under
there.
map.
Yeah. 6 is blankets, should be up 2 from the last one. 7, fire extinguisher. 8 I had as the buckets, and that's, yeah. 9 is snorkels. 10 hose.
Above map. Yeah, there we go.
11's a ladder, all the way at the top. And then 12's the last one, which was a rake and mop and whatever else. That's what I had.
Mine were pretty similar to yours.
I'm not sure mine weren't the exact same. If you just want to go from the top down. And then
Oh, that's true. That'd be like a lot easier. Sorry about that.
Okay, so I had 10, 12, 7, 4, I think mine are gonna be slightly different than everyone else's. 8, 6, 3, 2, 9, 11, 5, and 1.
Okay. I had 11, 10, 4, 3, 6, 8, 1, 7, 12, 9, 2, 5.
And mine were.
Okay.
Mine were 12, 4, 9, 2, 10, 8, 3, 5, 7, 11, 1, and 6.
You want me to read here?
Yeah.
10, 11, 8, 1, 7, 9, 2, 5, 6, 12, 3, 4.
Wow, you guys did have a lot. Whoa.
Apparently we don't value the ladder.
Because you always see people in the videos, like where they're up and they're just like, they just sort of screw themselves. 'Cause
Yeah.
They climbed the roof and now they can't go anywhere.
Like I said, if we were doing fighting, I had the climb into the bucket of water. I don't know how long it would take.
I did think about that.
That was
Jump on the
it
ladder.
totally
and
flips everything. When you
Three
think about
people could
it.
survive with the snorkel and the flippers and the bucket of water. And then I thought, how bad would it suck to boil to death? You know, I'll just stay in the flames.
Oof.
Yeah.
You want to start with most important, least important?
Let's start with the most important.
Yeah, that's either way.
Sure.
I'll just say both directions. That's what I did, because you can easily tick off the ones that are least. You can tick off the ones that are most. It's the ones in the middle that are.
And initially, map, keys, cell
Mapping.
phone are all
Keys,
consistent.
phone, yeah.
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 Alright, so let's talk keys and cell phone, I think. I could go either way on that. You know, I see certainly value, if you don't have the keys, you know, you're certainly hurting, but if you can't call somebody when, you know, for help or let them know that you're up there, you're also kind of hurting.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go to bat for map. Here's what I put as number one, solely because even if you have the keys or you have the cell phone, but you have no idea where you are because you're not native to this area. So if you start driving, you can get yourself more lost without the map, or if you get a hold of somebody on the cell phone, you need to describe, some coordinates and things like that.
I would agree with that. I personally put the boots and the clothes to kind of get yourself protected first before you go drive into some place where you have no idea. But if we're taking boots and clothes out of the top important thing, I would say map is incredibly important because these people have never been here before. So just kind of see where's the nearest place we can get help. How do we avoid the situation before even getting in a car?
So the devil advocate, so who here can read a map? I mean, we're assuming that one can read a map, and then two, I put it pretty important as well, but you kind of know where the fire's coming.
It said the player cells, I think. So we're assuming it's us 5
Oh,
there.
okay.
That's the way I read it.
I
Was
know
us
how
five. So we have the skills that we all bring. So if one of us is a MacGyver, can figure out how to do this.
Okay, so we're good there. But the other issue is the reason I would put keys or maybe cell phone ahead of map, and I think I put map 3, I'm not sure, was you kind of know where the fire is, I think, and so or maybe you don't know, and so that might be an issue. If you're looking straight, like I can definitely see the fires that way, and so I mean I don't know how much of a map you would need to be common sense to go the other way.
So get in the
My
car
devil's
first.
advocate.
My thought would be get in the car first, or at least be able to call for help.
The only thing I could see with the map is if at some point you can't drive the car somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, you got
Then at least you can go on foot and
Yeah.
know generally where you are too. So I think there's some benefit to the map maybe. And I actually put the keys number 1. So
I'm curious if this is a priority or if this is an order thing. Or as soon as we get the keys, we go to the car, you just left everything else, or does it mean you have to like gather this, and this, and then keys? I don't know.
You can also burn the map later if you need.
That's it, plenty of things aren't on fire anyway.
Well, I guess on the flip side of that, is there an item on there we all pretty much agree is like a 12-10? And then maybe to keep things moving, maybe group it as top quarter or top third, bottom third, middle third, or quarter, or something like that.
I was surprised that the snorkels got as high as they did. What were?
So my thought behind the snorkels is being able to, you would be able to find a river or some sort of water that you would be able to then stay in. I feel like that would be the long survival.
I thought about that, but the only thing I can come up with is most people die in smoke, house fires. I don't know about you smoke inhalation before you actually the fire burns. So even if you snorkel, you're still SOL. The only thing, and I don't know how
there's
you
only
would.
3. That was me.
Oh, okay. So
Only half the group is
Hey, you can read the map, I guess.
You get one.
Like I got my stuff.
I guess
So
what I'm thinking
I-
is there a way to do
I agree
bottom
with
3,
you.
top 3, where we can say,
Sure.
we all agree, and I apologize if I totally tear this thing up on you. But I'm
Ladder.
gonna say, what, do it 3 or 4, which one do you want to do it? Top quarter or top half, or third?
I mean, we were all in the top 3 there with the map.
So just call, no, but we're going to divide this into 3 or 4, so we try and boil it down into, we'll divide it into 3. So map we said was 1, what else is the top 4 items?
I would definitely say the keys and phone.
So keys, phone.
I actually think those probably stand
So
out
what's-
in a group.
So
in
then
and
what
of
would be,
themselves.
so what would be the bottom, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, what would be the bottom 4?
Ladder.
Ladder, yeah.
Snorkel.
Yeah, I can agree with you guys.
And then is there anything else that really stands out as to at least?
I don't know
make
what the
bottom?
rake and the.
Oh, the rake and the mop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those would pack maybe to 12.
Those
Yeah.
could be fashioned into really good weapons.
So then-
at the end.
So we're not only fighting a fire, but it's
We don't have to have
villagers.
So but at the end of the day, we're left with boots, fire extinguisher, blah, blah in the middle, but maybe if we ping out, I think, from where I'm standing from, I think I'm okay making this a 12 for everyone else is.
I just
Yeah.
don't know what you
I don't know what you
use
would do
with
with
that.
The only thing I could think that you would even do with that is maybe get like the miscellaneous brush, if your thought was, I'm going to stay at the house,
Yeah.
Right.
you get everything
Away,
from
you dig
the
up
house.
dirt and create a layer. And
Yeah,
it
and then you use the hose to put water around the house, and you put it on the roof, and you stand on the roof because it's made of steel and it can't possibly catch on fire. But you pray to God that the rest of the house isn't going to, because it's made of
Which the
wood.
wooden house.
It's just a metal siding or something, but yeah, I'm going to say. And then the other thing I
Or
thought
you
of
can fry
that,
on the roof. I guess.
somewhere in the writing
Fry on the
said
roof.
sparsely.
It did say it was
Sparsely something trees in areas. What did I write down there? But
Yeah.
there are areas that have basically openings that don't seem as.
A lawn and small evergreens.
How much time do we have left?
The house is set in a clearing and is surrounded by a lawn and small evergreen shrubs.
Yeah, I thought there was.
One of the things to think about with the rake, the broom, and the mop, granted I totally agree it's in the bottom third or whatever of this, is if you put it over your shoulders and you carry the water buckets or something like that. So I think there's a little bit of value to it for transporting water.
There's
Whoa.
three. Yeah, there's 3 buckets, 5 of us. It's an
And a
idea
hose.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least you'd have water.
Mm-hmm.
because I did have that thought.
And I
Just
think
like
after I
water.
ranked,
I didn't think.
yeah,
Okay, sorry, big
Moving
room.
pretty fast though.
yeah.
I
That's
don't
true.
know, those sound quite a bit.
He knows how far
Yeah,
the
this
car
was
will take you where
Scattered
you
throughout
carry
the
water.
places with markets, restaurants, and
But
picnics
where's
set among
spontaneous
pockets of
is
forest,
gonna have
natural
water.
terrain with sparsely canopied trees. So there's apparently around us there must be areas of quote unquote sparsely canopied trees. So that's the only thing I come up with. If you have a rake and you knew where that was at, then you'd be out of the fire also. But sorry, didn't mean to digress. I agree with if we're making that a 12. I guess out of those 3, ladder, snorkel, flipper's mask. And so we can't vote, so I go with consensus, don't we? I really don't care out of all 3 of those.
I think you make a good point with the rake and the mop and the broom, which would incline me to think that the ladder's definitely the 12.
I would agree with the ladder.
Yeah, yeah, you guys.
I just don't know what else, unless you're getting in the water. I don't know what else or getting on the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
12. Let's do ladder 12.
All right, one
That
down.
seems, that
11
sounds
to
like a
go.
bad idea.
All right. So we agreed the others were what? Snorkel, flippers, mask, and then rake, broom, mop. And out of all those, I really don't care because the only efficient one I can figure out how to make dirt with is the rake. Not sure how you.
I just don't know what you do with the snorkel.
I mean,
And does anyone have experience? Does anyone have experience in this stuff?
I feel like if you're not used to using snorkels, you're gonna panic and then it will.
And there's only 3 of them.
And there's only 3. I mean, I guess you could get the snorkel to 3 people and the flippers to 3 people and 3 you can float, the 3 you can sink a little bit.
My legs are a lot shorter than all of you. I'm gonna need the flippers.
I mean, highly useful if we had to swim out of there, but like you said, I mean,
They even
It's
say
a
there's
snow.
really waterways nearby.
I know, I'm not even sure how far the town, I didn't feel like we were that far away from that little town.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, you could just wade in the water. It's not like
Yeah, you can still.
it's not like our options is.
Yeah, I don't think.
Outswim the fire.
So do we think snorkel 11?
Mhm.
Sure.
Alright. So does that automatically make this 110 then?
Yeah.
I think it does. I was a little torn on the fire extinguisher, which I ranked dead last.
I don't want to
because-
say that would go above. If our thought is we're going to carry water with those things, then I would say the hose is even more useless than the rake and the mop and the broom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the only thing I thought of with the hose is, in terms of benefit, would be you could use it like rope if you need it for something.
I thought you were
like
like
the ultimate
connecting it to fight. I thought you were gonna fight the flame. But having a good day.
And John, you definitely read a map, right?
Yeah, so I
Okay.
definitely do maps.
Good deal. You guys will
And I have survival skills, but I not necessarily how to fight a fire.
Okay.
I really learned those.
So we're debating hose versus
Sounds like-
rake for 10.
I just don't know what else you do with the hose, even if you were going to use it as a rope.
Mhm.
I mean, what you
You could tie the blankets together and do the same thing.
can carry the blankets.
I thought we just put on our running shoes and just bolt.
We have a car.
Let me ask, who's taking sandals to the forest, by the way? When I read that, I was like, why are sandals even
Well, it's the same thing with snorkels, and I had some snorkel slippers and masks. I'm like,
We're just gonna drink and.
I'm just hanging out on the deck, bring my sandals.
hose 10.
Hose,
Jordan?
Yeah.
Alright.
And then right, mop
9.
room 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
9.
Right in the naked.
Okay.
All Get a right. little slanted.
Okay, let's go most
Alright.
important.
So now we have the most important: keys, map, cell phone.
Mhm.
I feel like if we could just drive out of there, you know what I mean? Like we would be,
That's-
we knew how to get there.
Yeah.
We know how we got
It's not even
there.
that far from where you were.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I started to write this down, and it said it was 164 yards down one road and 0.6 of a mile the other, and then you'd have to drive back to the town, which was, quote, a couple of minutes.
Oh, it's nothing.
Like, I'm thinking if you can get in your car, you're to the shelter in a couple of minutes.
We're good.
Yeah.
It almost should have made this scenario a little more threatening.
Yeah,
Well,
like I was
curious
11
about-
miles from the shelter.
And there's the tornado.
And it was coming like right
There
up
we go,
on-
now we're really stepping up.
Yeah. There's no shelter, there's no basement.
So keys 1?
Yeah.
Since we're so close?
I think it would be too easy just to get into a car and leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if I have the keys, I'm obviously taking them back.
That's kind
I
of.
can,
That's just it. Like, especially when it's a 1980s cell phone that they had, or a smartphone where it's like, I have a map. So.
And they're tracking you because they know where it's at.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
got, I've got my keys, my map, and my phone, so I've filled my pockets.
Yeah. Yeah, in terms of what you could potentially have to carry, those are all
Yeah.
really easy.
I would think map would go before cell phone, because I mean, who
That
would
was
you
my
call?
thought.
Everyone sees a giant fire.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
if you
like,
can't get in,
Yeah.
to save somebody.
Because that was my thought. I've been Smoky Mountains where my family and I went, and there are places you like, you know,
and if you had no signal.
yeah. I mean, even GPS was in that. I'm like, how the heck does that happen when
Yeah.
the satellites are directly above me? But because that's what we're using for a map, and still had to kind of take guesses.
So I would say map is more important, because
So map the 2, some of the 3.
if you get towards the town, but then for some reason in the panic get lost, you'll have that map.
But what if somebody gets really hurt?
We got a car, we drive them to the hospital. I mean, we made a decision.
So
We made a decision on one.
I'm just
so-
trying to make the situation a little more threatening. So say we can't leave. Say we start driving and then we hit a
tree fell over or
Tree fell
something.
over and it's burning, and the tree hits the car. Somebody's pretty damaged. I mean, the map. I mean, we can do a fireman carry. It's not fun, but I mean, we can do it. But maybe if the person, how hindered they are. That's why. I mean, it's a lot easier to have them medevac burden. And I'm not, because we don't seem to be that far from the town. So I'm not sure.
I wish we had a map too.
You would actually
The
kind
town
of
could be
nice
north of where we're at, and the fire's coming from the southwest. So it's one of those. I feel
So I
like
actually drew it out. The town is northwest of where we are.
It's coming from the southwest.
And the fire's coming from the southwest. Here, I'll draw a big map.
So put in common sense, just tell us we need to head north. I mean, without even looking at the map, we'd be like, oh, yeah, we just need to go north. We can see the smoke right behind us.
I don't know if you can or not. We're in a clearing, but according to the video, if you got
Oh, so
trees all the way
it
around,
was all around us?
it was all. Well, that's what it looked like when they're driving through the woods. I mean, I'm gonna make the assumption once you get out of this clearing
Where we
that you
don't know.
can't. Yeah. I don't know. I've been in Florida. You can't see far enough because too many trees.
So we're splitting hairs right now between the map.
We are. I don't care out of either
Because I
one.
think the middle of this ranking is where we're gonna have.
Yeah, that's
the
where we'll really
debate.
be.
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like these are kind of
Yeah.
no brainers.
Yeah. 2 or 3, it's a no-brainer.
I'm okay to either or.
First,
So if someone has really strong preference, I'll leave it to the three.
I don't have a strong preference for I just want to, I mean, because the scenario should be a little more clear when they help. So it's like,
Purposeful for be
just
vague
vague
like
and
this,
just
yeah.
get over it, what's going on. Yeah.
Patrick,
Yes.
what are you thinking?
You know, I go back to the map before the cell phone for one reason. If you are driving and a tree falls and you gotta call the medevac or whatever, can you give them coordinates or something like that so they get there quicker?
But that's your cell phone, right?
Probably.
If it works. I know map, I'm right there with you. Map always works.
Yeah. your phone could die, or may not have signal.
Yeah.
There's the map based on the story.
No, I agree.
This is north.
Sassafras is the name of the town.
Yeah, that's where the
I can't
shelter,
think
that
about
fire
it.
shelter
Couple
is.
minute drive, so you're talking half a mile,
We
only a
have
couple miles
15 minutes
away.
left.
15 minutes, yeah.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, that's certainly.
All right,
Yeah.
let's answer the easy one, we'll get to the hard stuff.
I think the map's the most important. It's guaranteed. You
We're
know
okay.
what you're getting
Sure,
with the map.
yeah, it's okay.
Cell phones 3.
Yeah.
Alright, now we're getting to the fun stuff.
So it looks like,
Do you want to try and split these in half? I don't
based
think
on
that's too hard.
scores, I think we all agree that the boots or the jeans and the sweatshirts are probably 4 and 5.
I would agree with that.
Where are sweatshirts at that I'm missing? Oh, gee, sorry. Yep,
Yeah.
I'm with
And I think the boots are actually more important because if you guys are all in sandals and you seriously want to run, you
I'm
probably
with
need
that.
shoes before
But I
you.
would definitely say get covered up.
Then that was
Yes.
another thing, like I don't want to be put, scraped up as you're
Like
walking
I'm
around.
not
and-
really hesitant to just try to fight this fire if I have my shorts on and my flip flops. But I think just get covered up.
But I agree, boots,
Boots.
I'd rather have that than flip flops out there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
4, we're saying clothing's 5,
Yeah.
Yeah.
jeans, da da da. Alright, so that leaves us, oops, sorry, 6, 7, 8. Actually, we don't have three left, right?
So the wool, the blankets is pretty, somewhat there.
So blankets, buckets,
And I guess what was
Fire
your
extinguisher.
guys' thought process for the use of the fire extinguisher? Now, if you're in a big forest
It's
fire,
not gonna do
it's
it.
not gonna do you a lot.
anything, yeah.
Maybe you signal for help with it was really the only thing I could think of. If it's so smoky, how's it gonna
They're
stand
not-
out?
yeah.
Like super situational, like if somebody caught on fire was
Yeah.
my thought.
But you have the wool blankets for that too.
Yeah, that's
Down the
true.
roll.
It's true, yeah.
So do we think fire extinguishers 8?
Given that scenario, I'd put the wool blanket ahead, because the wool blanket, you could use hopefully again, unless it burns up in process and you have a really bad day, but.
Would be funny to see somebody else.
So we'll
Yeah, I use something hard to.
Yeah, I think that should be the last
I
one.
don't
Okay.
see, yeah, I don't see any use to it either.
So we're
That would
at
be
8.
8, yeah.
Those little guys
Well-
don't have much.
So I'm gonna make the argument, if we made rates, mop and broom 9 under the condition that you can carry buckets with it,
Uh-huh,
I would say those two almost have to be immediately linked.
yeah.
Because why would I take buckets but not the fire extinguisher? If I then need an item that we ranked below.
So you're
Both of
thinking
those.
rake.
So I'm thinking fire extinguisher 7, buckets 8. Based on the theory that we're using
Or-
rake, mop, and broom to carry said buckets.
Or you could just
Or
carry
point.
Oh, you should carry the 3 of them, I don't know.
Or carry one.
And I'm assuming,
I
I
guess it's.
don't know if that bucket's full or not, I'm assuming we can fill it with water
Could.
with each. We also have a car, so we're doing these like, first case, like, we have a trunk. I will sit in the back seat with the bucket on my lap.
We all get in the car and leave.
Well, then I think, do we all agree you would clearly take the blankets before the buckets? Yeah.
I mean, I think it really comes down to, are we
I
fighting
think-
the fire or are we leaving?
Yeah.
I
It
think
sounds like we're leaving.
I feel like we're leaving, we decided to fight or flight, and we're
We're
flying out of
yes.
there, was our decision.
Somebody else's place, isn't it?
We paid the insurance, right? That was my over that part.
We could tell, yeah.
So I think
Blanket
blankets
6.
6, bucket 7.
I'm good with that if everybody else is, so just want to make sure we have consensus.
Yeah.
6. Okay.
7.
Sorry, 7?
Yeah, that's correct, okay.
Yep. Okay, so. Excellent.
Brought 2, so if you need.
I might, I must have left mine. Oh, my.
Actually. Alright, so what's the next one we're supposed to do? Because we haven't
think that's it.
decided that. Are you done?
Feel good?
Yeah, on the list?
Did I get my list?
Yeah.
Is that, oh, is that, oh, yes. Is it 2 weeks?
Just for reference, you finished in 28 minutes.
with, and we can just camcorders off them.
We good? Yeah, that's what I was
Are we
saying.
good, or
Yeah.
Nobody.
I just want to make sure the instructions actually said that, so.